A while back I talked about the previously lost and then found again revenge film Violated by Albert Zoogsmith, and that ended up being pretty cool. In fact, it was probably my favorite of the films included in Vinegar Syndrome's Lost Picture Show collection. And then, a few months later, I was in my local video store and I saw another revenge film called Violated, and it had this poster, so you know we have to check that one out. Welcome to Exploitation Reviews, and me, Rob, and today I'm taking a look at Violated from 1984. This is a revenge film about some gangsters who prey on young actresses. It is not a remake of the Albert Zoogsmith Violated from the 70s. It's its own thing. Let's see how they do their thing. We open on garbage piano playing and a zero-effort red text title card. Oh yeah, we're in for a treat, people. And after that title card, we get some singing that fits in perfectly with the piano. It's also garbage. And you know I wanna leave your sorrow. Ugh, my ears have been violated. And this music goes on for a full 3 minutes, getting progressively worse with each verse. Until finally, we are in bed with a nice-looking gal and an average-looking man. She says the kissing was nice, but it's time to go home. The man accuses her of being a tease and rips her shirt off. Naturally, with a jiggly emphasis on natural, that's nothing you can see here on YouTube.
Man, I just work here.
But of course, we don't have to stay here. You can now support the channel on Patreon and get access to spicy versions of my reviews. Link is in the description. So the man serves her a full glass of grape soda, and we're on to the next scene. A woman tries to comfort the girl, but does a pretty poor job of it. She tells her that the man is important to her husband Jack's business, and if she wanted her career to go anywhere, she'd keep her mouth shut. She doesn't listen, good for her, and she goes to the police. But the policeman she tries to file a report with isn't so helpful.
Did you touch his penis? Have you ever touched a man's penis, Elizabeth?
Well, have you?
So she leaves without filing a report, and then, 6 weeks later, the guy who served the grape soda is in a meeting with Jack. He isn't too impressed with the amount of cash Jack brings into the operation. I'm not exactly sure what the operation is, nefarious things including drugs, but it doesn't matter, and at the end of the meeting, Jack invites him to another party and promises there will be nice actresses at this one. And then we meet some actresses who have been invited to a party, and one of those actresses will be our main gal, Lisa Robb. I like her already. She goes to the party and is introduced around. And then she meets a friend who says something that introverts love to hear after a first date.
Perfect timing. You come just as I'm ready to go.
Hey, that's not being mean. Sometimes we have to recharge our social batteries. Anyway, the party proceeds, and many of the girls, including our girl Lisa, decide to go skinny dipping in the indoor pool. As the party starts to wind down, Jack, his wife, and the grape soda enthusiast take Lisa to a bedroom. In a bit of a surprise, Jack is first at bat, and we learn his wife likes to watch baseball. Lisa passes out before the grape soda enthusiast can get the drinks ready. And the next day, Lisa doesn't want to go to the police, but her brother can tell something's not quite right, and he tells the aunt, who does call the police. Oh, and look who it is, the unsympathetic police from before. But Lisa doesn't want to say anything to him. Unfortunately for her, the press catches wind of the rapey party story and runs with it, which somehow results in a grand jury being formed to determine if charges should be brought against Jack. And it's about this point in the movie when it stops being a sleazy exploitation film and becomes a rather boring and terribly written police procedural / legal drama, so let's stop talking about the plot of this one and let's talk some highlights. Well, this thing starts really strong. We've got some great villains here, really disgusting men and one disgusting gal doing some truly heinous and disgusting stuff. It's fantastic.
You sick son of a bitch.
If you like that kind of stuff, of course, which I know you do.
The more repulsive, the better I like it.
And those nasty pieces of work aren't even the best characters in this movie. The best character in this movie is Lisa's little brother.
How do you know if I'm sexy? You just started masturbating.
I'm a quick learner.
Yeah, it's such a tough skill.
Oh, and that dialogue is so well written. I'm a quick learner. Mwah. No notes. And of course, the two lady victims in this thing look pretty nice. But despite the nice-looking ladies, the vile villains, and one truly sleazy brother, the film is not perfect. Like a quick learner, this film has some shortcomings. Well, this film is a mess. It's good for about 30 minutes, and then it goes completely off the rails. It becomes a police procedural written by someone who has no idea how laws work. I mean, at one point, the police break into Jack's house and steal some tapes he made of assaults, and then the police says, "We can nail him with this." No, you can't. Police can't break into your house, steal stuff, and then introduce that stuff as evidence against you at a trial. That's illegal search and seizure. It violates chain of custody requirements. It is farcically absurd. And after the police procedural stuff, it becomes a kind of legal drama, and that's a mess as well. There are these grand jury depositions, and they're just completely ridiculous. It's almost like this film was written by a person who grew up in a much different culture and is just trying to imagine what policing is like in a Western country. It's truly bizarre. And then it gets even weirder. It turns out one of the characters is an assassin who used to work for the CIA. And it's like, what? Like, where did that come from? This thing is just completely off the rails at this point, totally bonkers, but not in a good way. I suppose, in fairness, the film is trying to say something. Something about the stress and difficulty in bringing sexual assault charges against someone and reliving that trauma on the witness stand while being attacked by the defense attorney. And sure, a story like that is worth telling. But it shouldn't be told by an exploitation film written by someone who has no idea what he's doing. And so this movie does provide a pretty good lesson for writers. Stick to your strengths. This writer tried to write a police procedural / legal drama with zero understanding of policing or law. That's a recipe for disaster. It was a recipe for disaster. This movie is a disaster. Clearly, this writer's strength was in writing witty, horny brothers having wildly inappropriate interactions with their older sister.
If you only weren't my sister, you'd never get to see them.
He should have stuck with that. Can you imagine if instead of turning into a weird and competently written legal drama, this had turned into a revenge film where Lisa and her boob-obsessed little brother team up to take out some rapey gangsters? That would have been one for the ages.